welcome to my channel again. This is Gina, PsychPRN. This channel is where, or this show, I talk about mental health issues, and I do mental health focus topics, and as well as self-improvement videos. So if today is your first time, thank you for tuning in. If you're a returning listener, thank you as well. Thank you so much. I appreciate you listening in today. So today's topic is going to talk about, how do we shift from being always in survival mode to actually thriving, thriving in our homes, thriving at work, thriving everywhere else in our lives. Like I always say, if you whip it in your mind, you can whip it everywhere else. So when you're shifting from survival mode and you're like all the time to now thriving and really being able to relax and move forward in your calling or your vision or your dream for your life, right? How do you shift from that one point A to point B? Now, have you ever had to make a decision or do something in your life where you felt like it was a major thing and you knew you needed to do it, but it's been days, weeks, months, sometimes even years, where you're spending so much time and energy asking people's opinion on the topic okay, so let's say you're going to invest or you're going to start a new business, or you want to go back to school for your master's or your doctorate or whatever level of schooling you're going back for your bachelor's, or you want to move to a new neighborhood, or you want to move to a different state, you want to move out of the country to a whole new start, you want to move your kids to a new school system, you want to date someone, right? You found someone you really like, you really want to date that person, but you keep calling your friends, calling your mother, calling your uncle, calling your auntie, calling everybody and asking what do they think, what do they want to do. Now personally, I've been there where I've had issues where I'm just like, God, I need somebody else's opinion. What do they think? Have they had that experience before? Because sometimes it's only in the asking that you get the answers you need. Even if you don't get the answer you need, guess what? That person can point you out to a direction that might give you the answer that you're looking for. So I'm always about the asking, but sometimes the who that you ask is super important, because when you stay in your corner and you don't talk about issues or you don't ask the questions, guess what? You're going to get stuck. You're going to get more anxious. You're going to get depressed. And then that's where sometimes you can start using substance, because you just can't seem to make a decision, because the more anxious and depressed you become about the issue or the decision you need to make, the more difficult it becomes. So I have 5 points. So the first one is to, the asking. What people are you asking? There are 3 types of people. For me, I have a few. My circle is super small. I have one or two people that I'll call that are my people that I say when I need care. I just need the person to listen, and I vent out, including my therapist. That's yes, I said therapist. I do therapy. I have my therapist as well. So every healer, every therapist need their own therapist as well. So, and it's about time we take the stigma out of saying that you need therapy. If you need insulin for your blood sugar, if you need medication because you are hypertensive, you will take it without in a heartbeat. But when it comes to things that need to be done for our minds to work well, sometimes there's this big stigma and we tend to hesitate. So yes, I'm a healer, I'm a provider, I'm a therapist, I'm a counselor, and yes, I do have my own therapist, and I'm so glad that I made that jump. But well, let's move on to the next one. So the 3 people you care, including, like I said, therapist. You need to find a mentor or a coach, somebody who can mentor you. Guess what? Mentoring is like really your coaching, a coach will guide you to what things you need to do in the future to better yourself. Therapists will help you look at your past as it's showing up in your present, and how do you best, counsel your past and your present and deal better with issues. And your coach or mentor is there to kind of give you that push you need to keep going to where you need to go. So really finding a mentor or coach to help you sail through those times. A person who has high moral character, you can't just go about telling everyone and anyone, because people will only tell you what their perception has been based on their experiences on whatever the topic is, right? Their own experiences, and they can put in their own biases and that type of stuff. So it's really important to find somebody who is really versed, who really have a high moral standard, who can guide you with the best advice possible. All right, so don't allow, like in the words of Gandhi, after, one of the quote that he put there, it says, would you allow somebody who has dirty shoes to come and walk all over your house? No, you wouldn't. The same way you wouldn't allow somebody who doesn't have good moral standard to walk all over you or tell you what to do. Right now, you're talking to someone, you're asking for advice, you're asking for their input, they're telling you. But number one is to really trust your instinct, really trust your gut feeling, that feeling that goes, where you go like, something about this, what do I do? And when you stay quiet enough, you quiet yourself long enough, you get the answers that you need. Sometimes it's difficult, especially depending on how tough the situation and what move needs to be made. It can be quite tough, but really staying in that moment and trusting your intuition and knowing that the choice that you're making it. You're making the right move. Secondly is that nobody in this life, nobody except yourself, will ever leave to reap the consequences of choices or decisions that you make, right? This are all on you. So whatever choice you make, as scary or as difficult as it is, you do your research well enough, you reach the benefit. But on my third point, even the benefit doesn't come and you fail, failure is okay. You might as well fail already. Fail and know that you've done failing, and learn from the failure and know what to do next. Because the worst thing you can do is to not do anything and keep thinking and racing thought about it. Do it already and fail already and learn from the failure. When I first got my job here in this country, when I first moved in as an immigrant, right? I was so on fire. I was driven. I was so excited. I'm in this country now. I just want to get things done. So I got my first job. I was doing leave-in for a while, and then I got a job as a nursing assistant or a tech. And I was so excited. I'm like, this is my ticket to stop doing leave out or leave in. I wanted something new. I wanted something different. And I wanted the opportunity to be able to go to nursing school. So when I went out, as ignorant as that was, I went and I was trying to get through the garage and the thing was not lifting. Believe it or not, I just was like, I didn't know what it wasn't moving. I didn't realize people have badges and they were scanning it. I wasn't paying attention because I was so stuck on my excitement in starting my first day of my work. So I rammed through with my car, and the thing, it was just a stick and it broke. And I was caught on the camera. I was called in the office. They showed me the video. They're like, who is that? I was like, oh no, I'm so sorry. I don't want to get in trouble. I was so innocent. And I was like, I was so excited to work. And I was running late. And I didn't know what to do. And then there was no other way. So I was so honest and truthful. And they were like, never do that again. But listen, that decision was a tough one, to jump from what I was comfortable with, doing living, was predictable income, to going to work straight from that to working in the ICU. I don't know how I got that job, but somehow God made it possible and I got that job and I worked back. What my point of that is, your drive in life determine how quick or how fast you make certain jumps or certain decisions. That is only, one of the examples. There's so many examples in my life that has shown different times that you just sometimes just gotta make that choice, just gotta make that decision. Yes, we don't want to be impulsive by any means. Think through, like I say, ask the questions, but don't overthink it. And then the final point is, life is going and it goes so fast. Before you know it, a year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years has gone by and you haven't done anything. And sometimes you'll find yourself, if you do something, the year or 2 years or 3 years will go by and you find yourself, oh, I accomplished X, Y, and Z. But if you're there and you don't make the choice, you're gonna down the line say, oh, I wish I had just made that choice and did it. When you finally see maybe your colleagues have made those moves and you could not do it because you just couldn't get the gut to wanna jump. So stop sitting there and being anxious and being jealous and being depressed. Find your grit. Jump, because sometimes if you're standing there and you're looking at how deep it looks like, how scary it is, you just need to jump off that cliff, because sometimes there's nobody there to even give you that push to jump already. Just do the jump and trust that parachute is going to keep you afloat. Find the power that's higher than you. For me, I believe in God, so I keep my faith and my hope, knowing that when I make that jump, even if I make a mistake, I learn from it. If I don't make a mistake, I have that higher power, which for me is God. Your higher power can be anything, can be nature, can be whatever, Muhammad, name it. But just do it, trusting that somehow something else will come on at the end of that line. These days, I've learned to just embrace hardness, difficulty, trouble, because life is full of that. And if you're expecting life to be mushy, oh, happy all the time, it's not like that. Go, run, fight. Life is a fight. Find your grit. Find your strength. Strengthen your core. Listen to me. Strengthen your core. Wipe your eyes. Just jump and trust that you will do something different that you're doing currently that might not be working out for you. So shifting from surviving to thriving takes a jump of faith, but do it afraid. Do it while you're scared. Do it while you're shaking, and see what else is at the end of that. All right, like I always say, if you whip it in your mind, in the favorite words that I learned from T.D. Jakes, can't wait to ever meet that man one day. But anyway, if you whip it in your mind, you can whip it in your paycheck. You can whip it in your workplace. You can whip it in your family life. You can whip it everywhere else in your life. So on that note, leave me a comment, leave me questions. I'll catch you at the next video. Ciao.